Everything hard to use is getting easier, and your skills are a valuable commodity. This is the truth. Many people don't realize that millions of people who thought they were safe, and would keep their jobs are about to lose them. It's already happening, in fact. The traditional career path is over, and people need to take control of their money and time. A work revolution is coming, and you need to be ready. Here are 5 skills that will always be useful, even in the new economy. Welcome to the first part of our series on finance, business, and investing, how to sell yourself as a business. People who used to work for someone else are now starting to work for themselves. They realize it doesn't make sense to be tied down to one company for 3 years in hopes of getting a promotion and a 10% raise. People no longer want to work for one company for their whole lives. They want to make a career based on who they are and what they can do. And if you want that to happen, you need to sell yourself as a business, not as an employee. So what's the difference between a one-person business and someone who works for someone else? Well, an employee only has one client, and they have to do whatever the client tells them to do, when they tell them to do it, and how they tell them to do it. In fact, it's usually against the law for them to have more than one client who is an employer. A one-person business, on the other hand, can have as many clients as it wants. They choose their clients, make the contracts, and decide how the game is played. They have full control over their time and decide when and how to get their work done. When they sell themselves as a business instead of as employees, they do the exact opposite of what an employee does. They don't have to deal with the uncertainty of a regular job. If one client doesn't work out, they have others to work with. If they want to retrain in a different skill set, they don't have to go through a lot of red tape to do so. For an employee, retraining in a different skill set takes years of learning, then years of required experience, and then they start at level 1. For a company of one, retraining takes a couple of weeks of active learning, and then they're ready to go. If they want to make more money, they don't ask for a promotion. If they want to take the winter off and ski in the Alps, all they have to do is charge more. They can do that, though. All of these things only happen when you go from being an employee to being your own business. Now, selling yourself as a business is a skill that will always be useful, but it can take years of trial and error to learn. But we have a great way to cut that time down by a lot. More on that later. How to retrain yourself. Number 2. The illiterate of the 21st century are not those who can't read or write, but those who can't learn, unlearn, and relearn. The skill of self-education is at the top of the chart of timeless skills. It is the first thing you must get. Now, answer the questions below. How about it? What was the last useful thing you learned? When did that take place? We're not talking about how to crop a photo, we're talking about a real skill. You can see that most people haven't learned anything new in more than 5 years. And if you are one of these people, we have bad news for you. You're about to be replaced or demoted, or maybe that's already happened. Yes, we know that learning something new on your own can be scary and cause anxiety. You believe you can't do it. And even if you do, you won't be able to compete with people who already have that skill. Add to that your years of practice, and you start to feel like a fake, so you go back to your safe job. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? So why even try? But any dog trainer will tell you that actually, yes, you can. In fact, learning how to learn on your own is so important in the new economy that it's almost a requirement. Now, the next skill on this list is about how to use this new economy's money to your advantage. How to get people to pay attention to you. Number 3. In the new economy, there are no borders and geography doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter where you live right now. Everything is on the internet, and the internet has its own currency. This is something we've talked about in our other videos, and the currency is attention. Does anyone listen to what you have to say? Does anyone care what you think? How do you get more people to listen? Can you keep people interested and give them something they'll find useful? Can you make fans? This was once a question. Only famous people ask themselves that, but now, they don't. Your ability to get people to pay attention to something they all care about. You can be directly translated as you will never have to work or worry about money again. Building a healthy community that wants to hear what you have to say is one of the most criminally underrated skills there is. You can't buy it, and you can't fake it. You either got it done or you didn't. And the next skill on this list is something you need to do to get people's attention. How to set yourself up as an expert, which is number 4. People often confuse expertise with experience. Expertise means how good you are at something. Experience is how long you've been doing it, and it's not the same as how long you've been doing it. Even if you've been doing the same thing over and over for 5 years, that doesn't make you an expert at it. People in the new economy want experts, not people with a lot of experience. And the good news is that you don't have to wait a certain amount of time to get better. You can go as deep as you want and get as good as you want. It will take as many hours as you want to put into it. In this new world, there's no how many years of experience do you have. Can you do it or can't you? And this is why it's so important to position yourself as an expert, not just as someone with experience. This is a skill in and of itself. Positioning yourself as an expert is a process where you put yourself and your work in the right place at the right time in front of the right people. We believe that in the near future, all high-quality individuals, or experts, will be hired as freelancers. They'll help out when they're needed, do the work they're good at, get paid, and then leave. They'll work for about 3 months, then take a 3-month break, and then do it all over again. Number 5, how do you build systems that can grow? This means making a system with a constant cost of production and a multiplier of results. This may be the hardest skill to master, so we saved it for last. You see, if you can build scalable systems at a steady rate, your value goes through the roof. Everyone will want to hire your business because employees are not scalable. You can only hire so many people before things get messy and unorganized. For every 6 employees, you need a manager, and for every 6 managers, you need another manager, and so on, until no one knows what anyone else is doing and everyone wastes time on the company's dime. We can see this happening right now with the recent mass layoffs at Twitter and Meta, and Amazon just announced that they will be laying off another 10,000 people. If you thought your job was safe at a big tech company, you should think again. Well, you're wrong. Any one of these skills can help you get by in the new economy, but if you learn at least 2 or 3 of them, you'll be on your way to real success, and as a thank you for watching until the end. We're glad you watched this video. If you found it helpful, you might want to join our awesome community and subscribe to our channel. If you want to see more, we chose this video for you to watch next.